Hey there, welcome back to another Flight Path disc review. Today we're going to be reviewing the Star Charger. This is a new distance driver that Innova just dropped, and we're super excited to see how it flies. Innova's claiming that this is going to be somewhere in between Star Destroyer and a Star Shryke, and so we're excited to see how this flies. A Destroyer for me is a little more beefy than I'd like it to be. I can't really get a full turn out of it and can't really utilize the full distance that it has. So I'm hoping with this disc I'll be able to utilize that. We don't see this being a very beginner-friendly disc. This is more for advanced people just because of it being a 13 speed. The flight numbers on it are 13, 5, -1, 2. So it's a pretty neutral flying disc, should be. So let's get out there and see how it flies. So that did pretty much what I expected it to do. Threw it on Hyzer, held the Hyzer line, finished hard at the end. Didn't really get much turn out of it, didn't flip it up to flat. That wasn't a full powered shot, but it's quite a bit of power. Yeah, it was good. That felt good. It honestly, on a Hyzer line, that speed in Star Destroyer feels very similar to the Star Charger. Yeah, those are super similar for that brand. I threw that a little high, but released it flat. And there was a little bit of turn there, which I really wanted to see. That I don't get turn there with a new Destroyer. So that was really good. Threw it a little high, so it died a little quick, but it was a good feeling throughout. Those had very similar flights, the Star Destroyer that's beat in and the Star Charger. The Star Destroyer that's beat in finished a little bit harder at the end, but the majority of the flight was the same. A little bit of turn when I'm getting a lot of power on flat shots, but very reliable finish to the left, fairly straight, so I like it. So I really like that. I didn't put it on a ton of Anheuser, and it held the Anheuser line for most of the flight, still had that reliable finish at the end. I put a lot of power into that, so you don't have to worry about it turning and burning at all, unless you're throwing like, I don't know, 500, which I'm not close to, but feels really good. Similar to a beat-in Star Destroyer for sure. So that was just a little bit of Anheuser and got a lot of distance from that. Held the line for most of the time, but still had that reliable fade at the end. Got quite a bit of distance, so I'm happy with that. That is a great feeling disc for forehands. Similarly to my backhands, the Star Destroyer is a little more beefy than I would like. That was perfect. Got a lot of distance, felt super reliable. I won't be scared of it turning and burning with great reliable finish at the end. I love that. That felt pretty good too. It feels, even though it's beaten, it feels a little bit more beefy, and I feel like I can't get quite as much distance out of it. But I mean, I love Star Destroyers for forehand as well. I mean, yeah, I threw that as hard as I could, and that went pretty far for me. I don't know how far that went, but that thing can move for sure. I love that. That was also a good throw. It was a little higher than I wanted it to be. I think due to it just being a more overstable disc as a whole, I'm not able to get quite as much distance out of it as I am this new Star Charger. So if I'm going for my max distance drive, I'm going to be choosing the Star Charger over the Star Destroyer that's beat in. They're still both great discs though. Innova killed it with this new Star Charger. I love it. It is very comparable to a Star Destroyer. I think it flies a little bit further, and even with the beat-in Destroyer, I think it has a little bit less hard fade at the end. You really get it to go a little bit further at the end, which is something that I've been looking for. I love that. Star Destroyers for me normally tend to be a little bit too beefy for me. This is, I think, gonna replace what I use my Destroyer for currently. I just threw 417 feet with this, which is probably my farthest throw I've ever had. Absolutely loved it. It's also somewhat comparable to Discmania's Enigma. I'd say it's a little bit more stable version of that. I'd say it falls right in between the Enigma and the Destroyer. But yeah, this disc is great for intermediate players and advanced players. Not so great for beginner players, but it's super fun to throw. I encourage you all to go out and try it if you can. Yeah, Innova, y'all killed it with this one.